for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here back from the video, and today me bringing you guys another defense. This one's going to be continuing my series of the nickel 245 odd formation. You guys showed a lot of love on that first video I did, the man coverage one. Now we're going to be hopping into a way to run the blitz, but with zone coverage. You guys told me to release it. I'm going to go ahead and drop it for you, and I can still drop some other schemes out of the 245 odd. We haven't even scratched the surface necessarily. There's really a lot that you can do with it. Just going through some of the videos that I could potentially make. I could do one on cover 4 drop. I could also do one on cover 3 cloud. But the play we're actually going to use is going to just be the stock cover 3 sky. It's relatively simple for me to adjust out of, and it's just going to be the most basic zone coverage defense that you can run. Overall, let's hop into it. So we're going to adjust our zone drops. Make sure that you have auto flip off. You do have to blitz off a specific side of the field. And then set your curl flats to either 20 or 25. I'm more of a 25 guy these days, at least depends on the formation really, but usually 25 is going to be a little bit more safer. Flats at 5 out as always. And yeah, so as far as personnel goes, if you did watch that first video, you'll have a better understanding on kind of what we're going to do. But if you didn't, basically at this player right here, you're going to need someone under 80 agility on All Pro, and if you're playing All Madden, you're going to need someone under 70 agility. Now, Tanner Muse here is the best player in the game to actually do this with in regs. He is under 80 agility, and he's around 90 speed if I remember correctly. Now, speed, the more speed, the better. Again, in Ultimate Team, you guys like Montez Sweat get it. Some others as well. Devin White gets it. As far as your other personnel, you can get safeties at linebacker, of course, and then usually this opposite guy, I like to put an outside linebacker. I would go with like a guy like Corey Littleton or McMillan right here, just some guy who's pretty athletic and good in coverage. Now, let's go ahead and hop into it. As you guys know, we have to flip it, so we get that blitzing linebacker off the left edge. That is how it works correctly. Once again, on the offensive side of the ball, I'll be running gun bunch. Also, before you get into the video, make sure you guys go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers before Madden 22. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that sub button. Alright guys, here we are out on the field. Just taking a look at our player. Once again, we do have auto flip off. But in this particular formation, it does not affect it too badly. The reason for that is you see, even in this cover 3, if I just go ahead and press, we have a cornerback pressed here, I believe, and then our free safety is going to be over here. So if it were flipped, we would still have our free safety or, depending on the case, strong safety in the box. So it's not too big of an issue, even though they might have numbers on a side. You're going to anticipate that they're passing the ball when you're running this play, so it's not too terrible of an issue. Now, as far as the player you're going to use her, in that man coverage video, we actually used this left linebacker or safety. In this one, we're going to end up using Jonathan Abram. And again, it depends on what side everything is happening on. So these things could be flipped. But for the most part, everything should be similar. Now, hopping into our adjustments, the blitz part is going to be very, very similar. It's just going to be the coverage adjustments that are a little bit different. So again, going with the same theme of the video, I'm just going to show off the blitz first, and then we'll hop into the things you want to do in coverage. So first things first, spread your linebackers. That's going to be D-pad to the right and the left stick up. Now, I already went ahead and actually, I think I touched that outside linebacker accidentally. You don't want to do that. You want to let him go outside. So it's probably not going to work. We'll just try it, and I would assume that it's not going to work. Actually, I have the computer running this one. But there you see, it did actually work. Now, again, I don't have anything set up, and when I'm running stock cover 3, I have my zone drop set. They're going to be playing deep, so that will be open. But you saw how Tanner Muse did loop around there, and I didn't even set it up completely correctly. So again, just for the base setup, you're just gonna press. We all know how to press Y or triangle down on the left stick, and then you're gonna go ahead and spread your linebackers D-pad to the right and the left stick up. So that's what you want to get. You want to get that outside linebacker moving outside as he did correctly in this particular run, and then just contain is double tap R1 or RB on Xbox. The last thing you have to do is you have to go ahead and move this player right here into contain. So you see, if I were to run it here, he's just gonna take a complete downward angle, but you move him into contain and he's good to go. Now, it doesn't matter if you leave him as far as you can, it's good, but the one thing you can't do is you do not want to move him too close to the DN. You don't want him right here. Anywhere from here to like as far as you can on the outside is good. Again, the positioning will make a microscopic amount of difference, not too big of a deal. So again, I'll kind of run through the blitz, and you will see things open for these first couple of plays because I'm not adjusting too many things. But boom, really quick pressure, easy money right there. And you see it's difficult to get the ball out. Someone like Rodgers would be a quarterback who might be able to get the ball off against this. Just because he has Gunslinger and the fastest release in the game, Slinger 3, if I remember correctly. But you see it's just relatively fast. And again, the faster the outside linebacker, the better. And again, I can actually put a middle linebacker, like I mentioned in Ultimate Team. That Devin White card is really, really good for this. And overall, it's just very difficult to stop. Again, he's just going to loop around. As long as he's on that outside and the contain, it will work perfectly. I think maybe previously I did have some trouble with this little running back on a route. You might think maybe he bumps into him, but he actually doesn't really ever. Even though he's on a table route, he might be breaking around here. He actually doesn't, so that's good for us. And again, the coverage will get better. So I'll show it one more time briefly here. Just go ahead, press, spread those linebackers, contain. Something I like to do is just move this guy off a little bit. He's going to be the guy going deeper anyway, so that's something good to kind of practice. We'll just move him in, and let's actually audible just to show different formations. Now, let's go with the trips look. So we'll go with trips, tight end. I dropped a video on this PA crossers yesterday, so if you want, you can actually go check that out. But we'll go with like a delay fade setup. We'll throw our running back on a route. Same look on defense, and we'll snap the ball. Boom, you see easy sack right there. So it works against trips, works against bunch. Just before I get that question, I'll just go ahead and answer it myself. Because there's always people who ask if this works for trips and bunch. Those are usually the two common denominators. Does work for bunch tight end as well. With that being said, let's hop into our coverage adjustments. Now things are going to be a little bit different in the blitzing portion as well. When I'm running this coverage, what I like to do with my blitzing linebackers, I like to make sure that he is on his, or when he's blitzing, he's going to be as far on the outside as possible. Because I've ran it a couple of times, and I've seen in the coverage instance, for whatever reason, I noticed that he actually gets blocked by this left tackle a little bit more often. So I want to move him as far in the contain as possible. That's very important to the steps. And as far as the rest of your coverage, I'm going to go with a double Mabel setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this player right here for our first setup. I have two setups. For our first setup, we're going to put the inside linebacker on the hard flat, and we're going to throw the outside end, or a linebacker in this case, in the hard flat. So here's a look at our coverage. In this video, we're going to use our Jonathan Abram in the man coverage one. If you've seen it, you might have noticed that we used that left of screen inside backer. But here, using Jonathan Abram, and that will change for our next setup, I believe, as well. But let's just go ahead, snap the ball once again here. Boom, quick pressure. You see right there, I actually tried to throw the ball with Rodgers. I just kind of held B. Wasn't open, but I was just going to try and throw it. And the coverage, very solid. Now, there's a little bit of a reason I might show it towards the end of this setup, why I have to move him outside, but I just noticed some weird stuff happening. I'm not sure if it was the coverage to do with it, but I ran it like twice and it wasn't working, so I just figured move him further outside. Don't take the risk, don't take the chance. And you see, coverage, hard flat, he's going to defend even that table route relatively well, especially with a more athletic player. D-end, again, you put an athletic guy out there. When you spread your linebackers, he's going to be relatively far. You see he's actually more far to the right than the tight end, making a play on that. Corner out, even though it's super deep, curl flat does a really good job of defending that. Even this deep C route is on clamps. So show it again here, press. Now something I like to do just to kind of get that guy out of the way, and I'm talking about Jeff Heath. The way I get him out of the way is I press Y, A, Y, and just press that left stick up. That just gets him completely out of the way. Sometimes he just annoys me when he's standing there. So that's a good way just to get him just out of the play. Again, when you're putting this guy in the blitz, move him as close as you can. And then go ahead, hard flat both these defenders, blitz your user, and we will snap the ball once again. There you see, might have been a little bit closer, but he's still going to get through. I'll just show it a couple more times, and then I'll actually show me moving him closer, and we'll see if it works. It wasn't working earlier, but things could change. Again, it is a pretty consistent blitz, though. That's one thing that I like about this. It is relatively consistent. So even in the scenario that you get blocked, it should be blocking the outside guy. He shouldn't just be not getting through. Again, we'll set it up right there. He's going to get through. I'll try and get the ball off. You see, with Gunslinger, you can get the ball off. It's going to be a quick read. It's going to be a flat, a hitch, maybe a quick seam route. It's very difficult, though. Not many routes are going to be developed down the field, which is always ideal for your defense. But let's show what it looks like if you were to move him in close. I want to see if it worked because, again, as I mentioned, it wasn't working in practice mode. So I'm just going to move him kind of close, just a little bit closer here. We'll see if it works. And yeah, so for this one, for whatever reason, it's a little bit important. And obviously for your normal blitz, if you're just running the blitz, it is helpful just to move him as far as you can outside. But I think you have a little bit more leeway on that one for whatever reason. But let's hop into our next adjustments. And the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to send the DN on the blitzing side in zone coverage. So it actually won't matter where Tanner Muse is. I think he's going to be in the thing or in the contain regardless. And it's not really going to affect the contain as well. Because if you've been watching, you notice that the DN doesn't do anything. He's just completely rushing to the right. And he's literally not picking up the tackle. He's not even really picking up the guard on the left side. So he's not doing a whole lot for us. Again, make sure that you contain. Make sure that he's in contain. He still has to be within range. If I move him too far outside, he's on the blitz. So he still has to be within striking distance. In this one, when you're running it like this, you're probably going to go ahead hard flat this linebacker. Now, you could realistically hard flat both the ends if I want to. I could get some help in the middle of the field like this. That would be a way to run it, but for now, we're going to keep the 3-man rush because if they block it, you could be in trouble with just that outside contain one other guy, considering the contain gets chop blocked or whatever happens. So, basically what you're going to do, hard flat Jonathan Abram, you can move him outside a little bit, and now you're going to use your Eric Harris right there. You see, again, without the DN there, it's still going to work. Realistically, I think this blitz would work with just the contain going. No other guys, if I do remember correctly. But basically, it's just some flipping zones. Pretty simple stuff, especially if you kind of know what you're doing with these adjustments. Also, could be a good way to kind of confuse him as far as getting quick reads off, trying to quick snap a table route, trying to quick snap a flat route. Decent way to kind of confuse him in that fashion. But here you see, again, even with Rodgers, I'm getting throw out of sacks. So very solid blitz. And overall, that's going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Follow me on Twitter. Also, link will be down below in the description. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And peace. I'm out of here.